So you had this plan or schedule when you were competing, and you wouldn't skip, like say maybe you didn't have the greatest sleep or you felt a little bit under the weather, you'd still go and do your training session. You wouldn't kind of move it to the next day. What was the reasoning for that specifically?
I always felt that was taking an easy option, that it was going to be tough sometimes. And I used to train, what did I used to train? Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I've always trained 4 times a week, and I've kind of flitted between like a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday kind of thing, which is sort of almost day on, day off, isn't it? And a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, giving myself the weekend clear. And it's really depended on what else has been going on in my life at that time, whether I've needed the whole weekend free or whether I've not needed the whole weekend free. But back to the not skipping workouts, it often felt like I would be getting behind. And, I've got to be honest, 9 times out of 10, if you get yourself sorted and get yourself there, you'll have a good workout. And if you don't do 6 reps with the weight, but you only do 5, then so be it. If you don't do 4 plates, you do 3.5 or 3, so be it. And I think on the one hand, that is really quite rigid. But I think where I still do have more flex and used to have more flex than a lot of people is that I have never, and I still don't, I don't do the same workout 2 workouts in a row ever. And it's not like I do the same workout now and I'll do the same workout again in 3 weeks' time. I just won't. So today, for example, I trained chest, and my first movement was a machine decline press. But like next week, I might use the same machine and do it second, third, or fourth, or I might not do it at all, or I might next week start with flies. Or do you know what I mean? So it will be absolutely 100%. It will be basically different. So the weight and reps that I used today when I did decline machine first versus what I would do on that machine if next week it's second or third, or I decide I'm going to do the same machine but do 21s or whatever, it's never really the same. Well, it's not the same. So if I had a workout where I knew I hadn't quite slept as well, do you know what I mean? You can get right into it and you can still have a really productive workout. And I think if you're not beating yourself up that you missed a rep or half a pound here, perhaps doesn't matter. But my personal belief is for what we do as bodybuilders, I don't think the muscle knows. Yeah, I just feel it knows how hard you're working, whether you've gone to failure.
It's very interesting, actually, because you do have flexibility. You'll go to so if you have a day where you're not feeling maybe your best, you won't skip the workout. You'll go and you'll just adjust based upon the current status of your body, your mind, everything. However, you have some people that will skip it because they're convinced that if they skip the workout because they're feeling not so great, that they will hit all their numbers the next day. So they're both flexible in a way. One's flexible in skipping the workout. I guess you got to find out what works best for your lifestyle, your schedule, your mind, your body, all that good stuff. But based upon what I'm hearing, as far as the logbook is concerned, is that something that you were overly focused on beating? Because it sounds like you were more concerned, or not concerned, but you were more focused on making sure the muscle was being challenged with a high amount of effort. You were training to failure versus, okay, I need to get this one more rep, or the whole workout was just trash kind of thing.
Yeah, no, so I had a logbook briefly. Yeah. So I spent some of my youth, I went to university in Birmingham, and obviously I'm from Britain as well. So Dorian Yates is, there's very few bodybuilders who come from the UK and especially have trained in and around Birmingham who, don't at least have Dorian as some kind of frame of reference. It doesn't matter whether you're drug free or not. The guy absolutely won everything, set a standard. And whether you're setting a standard in whatever federation, if you're setting a standard, then you're breaking the mold. And a lot of the way I trained, this, not the same as him, but because he was famous for this doing 1 set thing, and I did 2, but so we take chest. I used to and still do 4 exercises, 2 sets per exercise, and that's it. So not exactly the same as Dorian at all, but of that kind of thing. Anyway, I read somewhere that he kept a logbook. I thought I should keep a logbook. Kept a logbook. I didn't get on with it. I could write it all down. Didn't really help me. Yeah, I could see what I'd done the last workout. I could see what I'd done several months before. But like I say, to find 2 workouts that were same, it was almost impossible because I was changing things around every workout. So no, I basically had a logbook for weeks, not months, when I was about 21, and I haven't had one since. For me, I don't gain value from it. I have got to the point where I can remember what I did last week, and I basically need to remember that so that I can do something different from that. I know what, if anything, is a niggle in my body. So like if I've got a niggle in an elbow or something, I'm like, right, okay, well, I'm going to, do exercises that avoid that. And I think by having a real armory of exercises and a little bit of knowledge about anatomy, you can make those informed choices and decisions. I think some people get too bound into the, my coach has told me I have to use that machine, but that machine just doesn't suit the biomechanics of your body, and there are there's always an alternative for everything. So it was about finding that. So no, for me, it was about going to failure. And if I put the wrong weight on the bar and it ended up that failure was at 7 or 8 rather than 4 or 6, well, I was okay with that because I was still going to failure. And then, you put a plate on for the next set. If it went wrong the other way and I was needing a spot, because when I was competing, I was always training with a training partner. It's only the last few years I haven't had a training partner. Up until then, I'd always had a training partner. If my training partner had to step in after rep 1, I'd be like, okay, right, well, we'll do a couple of forced reps. I'll take a plate off and we'll do a couple more to get to that, 4 to 6, 7 kind of range.
So with respects to your training routine back then, you trained 4 days a week when you were preparing for contest. What did that look like? Was it like an upper lower? What was the split like back then, or did it always change?
I know split is the same as it is today. Perhaps the order changes occasionally, but basically I do